Hi, I'm Chris Cinnamon. Welcome to my Wellness Path Micropractice series. I've created this series for busy executives, professionals, business owners, and other high-performing individuals who feel overscheduled, overstressed, and at times overwhelmed, and want to do something about it. If that sounds familiar, this is for you. Today's micropractice is how to sit. And by that I mean how to sit in a way that benefits the body rather than sit in a way that hurts the body. It's not a newsflash that we're in an increasingly sedentary society. We sit a lot. A recent analysis in the Journal of the American Medical Association suggests adults sit on the average of 6 hours a day. A sedentary lifestyle, a lack of physical activity, is well associated with increased risk of chronic disease and death. But it's not just how long we sit that threatens our health. It's how we sit. I encourage you to Google, "Don't just sit there, Washington Post." Don't just sit there, Washington Post. You'll land on this wonderful graphic. It depicts a computer user with a slumped, collapsed, head-forward posture. Then it details all the health risks associated with this posture. Disease risk, organ damage, muscular degeneration, brain dysfunction. Yikes! Not on the wellness path. You might want to keep a copy of this graphic by your screen as a reminder. The antidote to the health risks of a collapsed, slumped, head-forward posture is what I'm about to teach you. We call it seated neutral posture. Let's begin. So I encourage you to find a seat with a flat, firm bottom, if you can. If you don't have that, a cushioned seat's fine. I'm going to use this stool without a back because it just helps depict the posture from several angles. Now, seated neutral posture is a way to organize the body that is more or less vertical, balanced, open, and relaxed. And it's got some specifics. We'll build it up from the bottom. So we start with our feet. So our feet are approximately parallel under the knees. So here my feet aren't parallel. Here my feet are parallel. And then you come up to the pelvis, and we do this alignment that's kind of subtle. We call it relaxing the tailbone down. I'm going to rotate and show you this from this view. So here is my lower spine, the 5 big lumbar vertebrae. Here is a triangular bone below them, the sacrum, and then the tailbone's at the bottom of that. And so this alignment involves just getting your mind in this part of you. So just feel this tissue, an area of chronic tension for many of us, and lightly releasing it, relaxing the tailbone down. So it's not a thrust, it's not any strain, it's a release. And when you get it, you'll just feel a little length, and you'll feel the sacrum and tailbone just relax down and point down a little bit more. From the profile view. So here, my tailbone's not relaxed down, and now here, it's relaxed down. I'm feeling a little more length in this part of my spine. So then we come up to the next level, what we'll call the midriff. And we'll find the midriff. So take your thumbs, find the bottom of the rib cage, bone. Take your index and middle fingers and find the top of the hip crest, bone. And then just put your palms on the soft tissue in between and bring them more or less toward the front like this. Your palms are now over your midriff. And the alignment we do here we call opening the midriff. So I want you to just have your mind penetrate your body where your palms are. And we're going to gently open and lift that area. At the beginning, one way that can help is you can do a deep diaphragmatic breath, and the diaphragm descending will pressurize this area, and that may help you feel it and gently lift it. So inhale, open the midriff. Exhale, maintain what openness you can. Inhale, open the midriff. Exhale, maintain what openness you can. You want to feel a light lifting. What I'm not doing is even the shoulders back. I'm opening from in here. Opening the midriff is a big deal. For one, it takes pressure off the lower spine, an area of chronic compression for many of us, particularly from sedentary work. Plus, there's a lot of important stuff inside this part of you. On your right side, your liver. On your left side, your spleen. The pancreas in between. All the digestive valves are at this level. All important tissue for healthy functioning of the human body. And all this tissue benefits from circulation of fluids. When we open the midriff, we create more room for circulation of fluids, and that's blood, lymph, interstitial fluid. Now, as contrast, let's collapse our midriff. Feel that squish? It is not helping all that vital tissue function. Opening it up does. Next, we're going to continue this gentle lifting up the spine to where the spine meets the skull. We'll call this the occiput. Let me turn around. My occiput is about here. So we just lightly lift there. Let me give you the profile view. So here, my occiput is collapsed. Now watch, I gently lift. And my chin rolls under. I'm not doing this with force, so it's not like I'm pulling the chin in. I'm lifting here, lengthening the tissue in the back of the neck, lightly. And that helps stretch this tissue out, which tends to shorten with a head forward posture, and also gets the head more over the spine, reducing the need for the muscles in the back of the neck and the upper back to contract, which they do when your head goes forward. So, the basics. Feet parallel under the knees, tailbone relaxed down, midriff open, occiput lifted. And just take a moment and feel how it feels in this more or less balanced, internally supported vertical posture. A couple things to consider. Sitting in neutral posture involves some amount of muscular work. The muscles in the core are lightly engaged to lift the midriff, and the muscles that line the spine are also activated to keep the spine upright. If those muscles are not used to it, then they're going to fatigue, and you'll feel that. But I assure you, with a little practice, those muscles will begin to tone, and they evolved to support you like this. So they will adapt, and that sense of fatigue from sitting like this will go away. Also, depending on how you're used to sitting, parts of tissue can shorten on one side. That shortened tissue might say, wait a minute, I'm not used to stretching like this. And if you get those kind of sensations, just give it a break, come back to it, and in a short amount of time, that tight tissue will begin to open up and you'll be able to sit like this with increasing comfort. Now, another contrast I'd like to draw from neutral posture. Go to this slumped head forward posture. Now, we've talked about now you're squishing the vital tissue in your abdominal cavity, liver, spleen, pancreas, digestive valves. But now what's happening up here? This is your thoracic cavity, right here. Inside your thoracic cavity are your lungs and your heart. So when we sit like this, we're decreasing the space for our lungs to expand. Our breathing's getting shallower. And when our breathing gets shallow, all the movement that could otherwise happen from deeper breathing doesn't happen. So there's lots of good reasons to get a more vertical, upright, balanced posture for your health in the near and the long term. You may have a question. Once you establish seated neutral posture, what can you do with it? Well, a lot. For example, in most meditation traditions, this would be a fine meditation posture. But there's more. For example, you can be in seated neutral posture and work your computer just fine. Say you want to take a break from that, check your phone. You can stay in seated neutral posture as you check your phone. And just contrast that with the postures you see all around the office. And I mean, everywhere you go. If a person's in front of a computer, increasingly they're like this. And then they take a break from the computer, look at their phone, and they further collapse. As we talked about, that collapsed posture squishes internal organs, shrinks the space for breathing, compresses around the heart, none of which is good for you. Seated neutral posture is the antidote. That's today's Micropractice, how to sit. Seated neutral posture. I know you have ample opportunities daily to practice this. at your desk, at the conference table, when you sit down to take a break. Get these basic alignments set. Feet, tailbone, midriff, occiput, and sit. I encourage you to begin to practice this daily. Here's what will happen. Your body will begin to prefer this posture. It's more vertical, open, and balanced. It's better for your body, and your body will respond. Then you will begin to feel when something collapses. It won't feel right, and you'll start to automatically correct. And in doing so, increasingly, your seated posture will benefit your body rather than hurt it. An important step on the wellness path.